When the deer around here get a notion, they mow down anything that's green, even plants that are said to be toxic to them, like rhubarb leaves. I knew they had always eat down certain kinds of pine trees, so when we planted our little seedlings, I always went around with this deer stopper I'd spray on them to keep the deer away, and it worked at first, and then it didn't. One year we had planted our potatoes outside of the fenced-in garden, and it was growing pretty good. This was a drought year about 2 years ago, and the potato plants here are growing pretty good. And I had just gone around spraying the trees with that deer stopper, so I thought I'd hit those potato plants too, because some of them were getting little nibbles on them. They were nibbling some of the leaves off, and I had also just dusted the potato plants for potato bugs. And then the next morning when I went out there, the whole potato patch had been eaten down to the dirt. The deer mowed everything right down, chemicals and all. Nothing was stopping them. And since then, the deer stopper stopped stopping the deer, so we had to figure out something else. We decided we were going to have to fence everything in that we wanted to save. And first we just started with little cages around the trees we thought we could save. And then we also decided to put another fenced-in area close to our original fenced-in garden and make it a bigger area. So we made a trip to a local sawmill and wood treating plant to pick up some treated fencing material. So we'll have an inner garden and an outer garden. And on most of this outer garden, we just put conventional wire. But we also decided to do some of this outer garden with a wattle fence to help block out some housing that had gone up to the east of us. So we went and scavenged for branches and small trees and sticks to make a wattle fence. A wattle fence is where you first make a fence frame, then you weave sticks and branches through the frame. In our case, we did a vertical wattle fence, where a lot of cases you might just see somebody do a horizontal one where they just weave branches, long branches and sticks between the posts. You just take a branch and squeeze it in between the horizontal members of your fence frame. For the horizontal members of the frame that I got here, I just took one 10-foot treated 2x6 and I ripped it into 3 pieces and attached that to the post. Then you just alternate one stick in one direction and one in the other, and you just keep pushing it together and keep filling it in. Then I went to making some more grow bed areas, and the first part of that is just scraping the sod off the top. Then I filled it back in with black dirt that was sod free. We're still going to have grass around there to cut, and we'll just have grow beds here and there for berries and other vegetables that we don't want the deer to get. And then I also added some manure. then tilled it all in. Now we can plant stuff out here without the fear of the deer getting everything. We moved our rhubarb into here. And we moved our raspberries because the deer were eating them too. And we could free up the cage around that one apple tree. We have our inner garden and we can plant flowers out here. And plenty of room for more stuff in the future. And our wattle fence will keep growing with the woodbine planted at the base of it. Get a little more privacy. And our inner garden is safe too. On the north fence of the outer garden, I have a wire gate built in to get the skid steer through. And then on the west side, I have another little wire gate that we can come through. And I can also get the rider lawnmower through too. Eventually we're going to build a little garden shed right there. And at some point I'll build another wooden gate that looks a little better. And so far it's been keeping all the deer out. But probably not the gophers. That'll be another story.